Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Talking Reds, where we bring the latest Liverpool news and transfer news and much, much more. Good morning. It is a Friday morning, and we are here for a Morning Reds show. So welcome in, everyone. Usually we do it on a Monday or a Wednesday, Morning Reds, but I'm see if I can do it as much as I can, guys. I do want to give you as much content as I possibly can on this channel. And when I'm free, I'll try doing Morning Reds if I can. So obviously, Stu does the Morning Reds on a Monday. Obviously, Andreas is going to come back as well, do some more Morning Reds as well. So, yeah, welcome, everyone. Hope everyone's having a lovely morning. It is a Friday morning, and everyone loves a Friday. I'm absolutely certain. We've got Red Zone again tonight at 7 o'clock, so make sure you stay tuned for that as well. Get involved tonight and get in your chat, get in your comments this morning for the news about Luis Diaz and Ibrahima Konate. We're going to talk about those two specifically. We might gloss over a couple of other stories as well, but Luis Diaz and Konate, their contract situations right now with Liverpool are not looking good. They're not looking good, and it is frustrating when we've just won the league. You want to build again. You want to possibly sell the players that we need to sell, but keep the ones that we did win the league with. And Luis Diaz and Konate are two players that certainly had their impact last season and had a big impact in winning the league. So really, the ideal situation is to keep both of them. The issue is we can't agree on contracts. Contracts are breaking down. There's been certainly misunderstanding. I don't know, misunderstanding, but there's certainly been fallouts between certainly Luis Diaz's camp and the club. Konate has, in recent months, shut down any rumours online that he's asking for like £200,000. I don't think that'd be true as well. I think Konate is a man of his word with that. But are we willing to offer Konate a decent enough wage? Just keep him on. His contract does run out next summer, so he can go for free next summer. Luis Diaz runs out in 2 years, I want to say, so he can go then the summer after. It's a tricky situation, guys. It's a sticky situation. It's one that we don't really want to be in, but we are in. And having just been burnt with Trent Alexander-Arnold going for free to Real Madrid this summer, we don't want those same mistakes happening again. And there's a possibility that may end up being the case. It may end up being the case, and we don't want that to happen. What the likely scenario is right now is very up in the air. I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't know whether I could give my opinion whether they're going to stay or not, but there's nothing in concrete of that they are going to stay. Both their futures are really up in the air right now, and it's a tricky one because how do then we replace them? Because Kwanzaa's gone. So speaking about the centre-back specifically, Kwanzaa's just gone. So we need a centre-back anyway coming in. I thought we needed a centre-back before Kwanzaa went. So we need a centre-back Kwanzaa going. If Konate goes as well, that's two centre-backs. Two centre-backs. One being a first-team centre-back. That is a big, big hole to fill. Luis Diaz, again, him and Gakpo have been pretty much fighting for that left wing spot. Luis Diaz has done well in certain games up front as well to cover the lack of option that we have there because Nunes isn't doing it. Jota's been off it as well. So Diaz has done his bit there. So it would be a big miss. Diaz, I don't think it'd be as big as miss as Konate, but certainly a player that we don't really need to get rid of. I've always been the opinion of Luis Diaz. Like if he goes and we get someone just as good or even better, then I'm happy with that. But if he stays, I'm happy with that. I think Luis Diaz is one of them with that. But Konate, we can't let Konate go. We can't have Konate going, especially whether this season or next season. We can't go let him go for free because he's such a big loss at that back. I know people say, well, I've seen a lot of people say, well, Van Dijk makes him better. Van Dijk makes every centre back better. Van Dijk is that good, but people forget also Konate for the first 2-3 months of the season, he was better than Van Dijk. Although he did drop off and then he had an injury as well. I thought Van Dijk sort of picked up towards certainly around, I'd say November, and then to the rest of the season, probably our best defender then for the rest of the season. But Konate for the first couple of months was outstanding. And we can't ever underestimate what Konate does bring to Liverpool. That's the issue. I just think it's a situation that we happen to be in now because of what happened. Obviously, Edwards and Hughes. Edwards left previously under Klopp. Joe Ward came in, then Josh Matt came in, and all these contract situations have come about where they're just it's really annoying. It's contract negotiations that we don't need to be in. These should have been sorted a long time ago. Salah Van Dijk should have been sorted way before that happened. Trent Alexander-Arnold, if he was going to run his contract down, that should have been sorted. Either give him a new contract or sell him on, or just don't play him. And again, we're in the same situations now with Konate and Luis Diaz. Konate is now in the last year of his contract. He can go for free next season. And I've seen a lot of mixture online of what we would do with Konate. People say, no, why would you sell him? You're not going to get a better player like that. But again, it's like, why would you sell him? But then why would you keep him for another year for him to go for free? You got to wait up. We can't let players run down the contracts and go for free. We can't let that happen. And if he's going to do that and we get a Mark Ghee, for example, then Mark Ghee has to be number one priority. Exactly the same when we realise Trent is going. Bradley, you're number one. That exactly the same needs to happen. Wayne says here, why would they want to leave? And that is a question to be asked, if I'm honest. That is a question to be asked. But again, Luis Diaz, we know South American players usually want to play for Barcelona or Real Madrid. At the point we've already seen before in reports in the last couple of years that Luis Diaz is dreamed to play for Barcelona, but Barcelona ain't coming for him now. Regarding Konate, he probably expects more wage. We did actually talk about the wages last night as well. Me and Naj on the stream last night. The wages that they're on currently is simply not good enough. When you look at Luis Diaz, and if you compare it to the wages, let me just get it up again from last night. So if you look at Luis Diaz, he's on 55 grand a week, which is really, compared to others that are in our squad, is simply not good enough. So maybe that does play a massive part. It might play a massive part. People want to be valued. People want to value their... It's like any other job. It's like any other job. If you work for any company in the world, right, and you feel your wages, you're doing more than what your wages are saying. I know they're on a lot of money at football anyway, but if you compare it to other people in your business, and you're saying, well, I'm doing more work than him, why is he on double the wages I'm on? Then you're going to question it. And if you look at the wages now, obviously Luis Diaz on 55 grand a week, whilst someone like let me just give you an example. Chiesa is 150 grand a week, and Darwin Núñez is 140 grand a week. Diaz is almost triple less than Chiesa. And Diaz has been a first team footballer, certainly in and out of the first team, but he's mainly, is keen to winning certainly the league title, and he's keen in the way we've been playing for the last year, 3 years. Chiesa's come in and hardly played. And he's on 3 times more for sitting on the bench, sometimes sitting at home, than Luis Diaz. So he's going to be a bit annoyed about that. Konate is currently on, let's have a look at Konate. So Konate is on 70 grand a week. 70 grand a week, and he is alongside Virgil van Dijk, our main centre back. 70 grand a week. When you got Kostas Tsimikas on 75 grand, backup left back. Not only is he backup, it's less than an important position for me than the centre back. Conor Bradley 75 grand is on more than Konate, who has been a backup right back. Gomez 85 grand, obviously because he's been in here a long time, so he sort of deserved that anyway. I won't really look too much into that. But again, look, Darwin Núñez and Chiesa have been on more than Konate as well, when really Konate is a vital part of our team, and so is Luis Diaz. Really, he has been a vital part of our team. Wayno says here, at my place of work, all of us are on the shop floor, apart from the manager's wages, obviously. Yeah, there is some places like that, but when you get competitive salaries, and when you get competitive salaries in businesses, and someone's doing triple less the work that you're doing and is on more, then you're thinking, that ain't right. It can't be. If you're Luis Diaz, you're looking at Chiesa's wage at saying 150 grand a week, you're going to be angry. I've got to be honest. You're going to be like, he's been sat on the bench half the season, like most of the season, and sometimes even at home. What am I doing here? Putting my heart out every week and basically getting 3 times less than what he's on. That's you got to look at it like that. And then obviously he's had in the past reports of him wanting to go to Barcelona, wanting to go another place, but it it is frustrating. What I would do, I would try to sort it out. Obviously, it's another 2 years left on his contract, which is all right. There was a report last week that said that Luis Diaz was happy to stay here no matter what, and maybe run his contract down if that's what it is. But it was a PPSC area that last night was the journalist that came out of it, and he was the original journalist that broke the Diaz joining Liverpool news. So he's quite a reliable journalist in terms of Colombian players. So yeah, apparently the entourage isn't happy. The people around Diaz are not happy about the situation. So there is a possibility that he does leave. Hi everyone, says Spirit of LC fans. How are you? Like, comment, share, subscribe. You'll never welcome. Thank you so much, Spirit of LC fans. Hope you are well this morning. It is a nice, chilled morning. It's quite cloudy this morning in the UK. Wherever you are in the world, let me know what it's like over there. But yeah, it's quite cloudy in the UK, but it's chilled. It's quite chilled actually. It's not sunny, but it's not cold. So yeah, it's a nice Friday morning. I do like my Friday morning. I've got my cup of tea here. I like having my morning teas, and yeah, it's nice to get on here on a morning and speak to you guys about Liverpool. I want to do this quite a little bit more often, but I do obviously do the evening shows as well. Spirit of LC fan says here, what's going on to happen with Tsimikas, Williams, Ramsey, Konate, Gomez, Elliott, Morton, Bajcetic, Chiesa, Jota, Nunes, Diaz, and Dirk. That's a big list there, Spirit of Liverpool fans. Big list. You want me to go through them all? I'll go through them all. Tsimikas, that situation with Tsimikas right now is very, very different because it looked pretty much like that Robertson was going to go out the door. It looked like Atletico Madrid was the team that were going to be getting Andy Robertson. But right now, Atletico Madrid last night purchased a new left back. Now, Andy Robertson is not part of their plans. So that leaves the door open now for Andy Robertson to stay. And if Andy Robertson does stay, which for me would be the ideal situation, Kirk's being the main guy, Andy Robertson being behind him, perfect. Andy Robertson, I think, it would do Andy Robertson a lot of good to play less minutes, but I think it'll get the best out of him. And not only that, to support Kirkes in his development as well. I think it's absolutely vital. So for me, I would rather Tsimikas go, keep Robertson, but I think it's one to look out on that. Reece Williams, he's already gone, hasn't he? Reece Williams. And Carl Rams, I'm sure, is going out as well. So Konate, we just talk about the situation with Konate. His future is up in the air. Gomez is going to stay. I think he's already said that he wants to stay anyway. So Gomez will stay. Elliott, I think Elliott will be moved on. Brighton is right now the reported team to be interested in Elliott, but there's going to be a lot of interest in Elliott. He's a sensational player. So £40 million is the reported fee. I think Morton will go. I know Morton was quite unhappy last season that he wasn't let go for at least a loan because he wants first team football. He's a Liverpool fan. He's a Scouser. His whole family are Liverpool fans. They would prefer to stay at Liverpool if he was guaranteed game time. Obviously, you know, as a Liverpool fan, you want to, a bit like Elliott would want to. But I think Morton will probably go for the better of his career, just like Harvey Elliott, if I'm honest. And I think he can play for a very, very decent side, Morton. Bajcetic, I think he will be used as a backup for Gravenberch, but I do think we should get another DM personally as well. Chiesa, I think it's quite obvious that Chiesa is going to be leaving. Jota, again, up in the air. We don't know about Jota. He could possibly leave, but I could see him staying. I don't think we would want too many changes. This is the issue as well. This is the issue with Diaz and Konate. We've already lost Kwanzaa. We're losing Chiesa. We're losing Nunes. This and that. We've already brought Verting, Frimpong, Kirkes. So that's 3 new players there in terms of first team. But if we lost like a Jota as well, and I lost a Diaz, and we lost a Konate, I don't want too many changes. There's the right amount of changes to make. I think we need to make it. I think we need a centre back, a striker, and a CDM. Exactly what Spirit of LSC fans is here. We need a centre back, a CDM, and a striker for me. Once obviously Kirkes is done now, a few sales out the door for me. Centre back, CDM, striker. They're the 3 positions. But then if we're looking for another centre back and a left winger at that point as well, we don't want too many changes for me. We just won the title. We need to build on that. And a Diaz and a Konate, who've been big parts in winning that title, leaving would not be a good idea to go around. So I think Dirk is going to go as well regarding Dirk as well. On the end of that, early acquisitions could significantly enhance our prospects for success in both Premier League and the Champions League. I mean, yeah, the early movements of Liverpool have been spot on. They've been absolutely spot on. This is the ambition that we've been asking for a long time, and it's about time we started acting like the big club that we are. And it's nice to see. It really is nice to see. It'd be interesting to see now what we do. I think what we're going to be focusing on now fully in terms of the next few weeks is probably sales. Nunes is likely to leave. Elliott's going to leave. It's either Tsimikas or Robbo's going to leave. Probably up for Tsimikas now. But obviously Dirk will leave. Martin will leave. And yeah, I think that will be focused on the next few weeks. And after that, once the wages are freed up, I think we'll look again in the transfer market. Obviously, centre back is the one that's been reported the most. Matt Ghee being the likely target. Striker obviously is needed for me. And there was a report yesterday that we might not go get a striker just because we lost one, but we need to. For me, we can't go into this season playing Luis Diaz up front again, or relying on Jota's fitness, and hopefully Jota coming back as well. Because not only Jota's fitness was bad last season, his performances were. So they didn't make up for the lack of availability that it did give us. But yeah, I just think it's a summer. It's a big summer. It's a big important summer this season, and the contract situation between Diaz and Konate does not help the situation. It doesn't, because we're trying to build on a winning team. We're trying to build on the Premier League winning side, adding a few additions like a Verts, a Kirkes, a Frimpong, but then we're trying. It's going to be hard to keep the likes of Diaz and Konate and replace them. And if they were to go, hopefully not, if they were to leave this summer, then we're having to look again for more additions that we didn't really probably looking at in the first place. I think obviously left wing have been looking at Malik Fofana. That's the reports about Malik Fofana being linked to Liverpool. Again, I'm happy with Fofana, but if that's only if Diaz goes. If Diaz goes, I think we should look at Malik Fofana. If Diaz doesn't go, then there's no reason to look for another left winger, especially with Rio coming through the academy as well. I think Rio can be in the first team certainly in a couple of seasons' time. But yeah, regarding Konate, I think we need to bring in, if it's a Ghee, then I'm happy with that. I think we need to bring in a centre back like a Ghee anyway, regardless of Konate's situation. But if Konate's situation does spiral out of control and he does end up having to be sold on, because I don't want him to go for free, if I'm honest. If he has to be sold on, then that's two centre backs we have to bring him. The thing is, Ghee, I think he's quite versatile as a centre back. He usually plays on the left hand side, but I think he can play right hand side as well, which does help. Yeah, it's an interesting situation. So yeah, I'm going to bring this up regarding Mark Ghee. His leadership qualities, organisational skills, and areas of development are noteworthy. Considering his age of 24, current contract situation with Crystal Palace, could he? I mean, yeah, Mark Ghee. I've said it before. Look, this guy is not Van Dijk, but is at the same profile as Van Dijk. The way he's on the ball, I think he's better on the ball than what Konate is, for example. His leadership is a big part, especially when we're always looking for leaders. Robbo's going to end up leaving at some point. Virgil's got 2 years left on his contract, so he's going to be leaving at some point. So I think bringing leaders in is always a bonus. Like Szoboszlai, for example, when Szoboszlai came in, captain of Hungary, that's a big plus. We always need not just one leader, we need a few leaders. We've always been talked about the leadership group. Even like back in the day, back in the 90s, back in the 2000s, you get your most successful teams, also Manchester United, your Arsenals. They want just one leader. You'll have your Keane being a leader, but you'll have like Rio Ferdinand and Vidic and Gary Neville being leaders as well in the background. I don't want to praise Man United, but that's the truth. You'll have one main leader, your captain, but you'll have a leadership group that will keep everyone intact. And that's your emotionally experienced players. So Ghee coming in that has leadership skills, that has previous experience of leading, by the way, leading his team to success. So that's what he did last season. He led his club to their first trophy in their history of the FA Cup. So that bringing a Ghee in for me would be absolutely vital and absolutely key. going forward. Give me 1 second, guys. 1 second. I'm just going to go get a charger. I don't know why I bit my charger. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Won't be long. I'm here. Got to bring my charger in. I should have done it before, but it's what it is. I don't want my laptop dying when I'm doing the stream for you guys. So yeah, regarding Mark Ghee, I think it'd be a sensational signing. However, I think Ghee should be brought in regardless of Konate's situation for me. Go for the chat. Right. So yeah, Luis Diaz as well. What do we do with Luis Diaz? Big question. Do we sign him down to a new contract, or do we let him run his contract down? Diaz is a different situation to Konate because Konate still young. He's still got plenty of time, still not in his prime yet. Whilst Luis Diaz is in his prime, is he going to get any better? 1 second. So yeah, regarding Luis Diaz, he's on 55 grand a week. Is he going to get any better than what he's got? I know Salah now hit his, well, he thought he hit his prime, but then Salah went to another level last season. But I think Salah's a different kettle of fish. Salah's always been world class, whilst Luis Diaz has been inconsistent and pretty much is reliable at times, but we don't see enough. We don't see enough from Luis Diaz. So are we going to take that risk and offer him? I mean, what wage do you offer him? What wage do you offer him? You know, Luis Diaz, because obviously he's in his prime now, and he's like Gussam said there. He thinks that Gussam says there. He don't think Diaz is top tier. I think he's one of the best in the world in terms of wingers, but that's saying a lot for wingers. I think that's just probably saying a lot for how football is now. Because I don't think they're as good as they used to be. So 1 second. When does just get something up? 1 second. Right. So yeah, regarding Luis Diaz, I don't think he's elite. I don't think he's like he's not a Salah. He looks at like Kvaratskhelia, Dembele. He's not that good, but he isn't. He's probably the level just underneath. But again, going forward, would we rather? Obviously, I think for me, Gakpo's number one winger for us. I think is the one that we should play more. But if we are to sign Diaz for a new contract, then what do we offer him? And how long do we offer him? Is he worth the money that we're going to pay for it when we can go out there and get the next best thing? That's the situation with that. I would personally, like I said, I've said it before. Look, if Diaz stays, I'm happy with that. It's a very, very good a fight between him and Gakpo for that left wing. But if he goes, we've got to make sure we get someone good for me. Gussam says there 90k a week to 55k a week, but I've not seen 90k a week. I don't know. It might be. I don't know. I'm just getting it off what is posted online. Really, what is published on the wages, and it does say 55k. But it might be 90k. Even then, 90k really, even if it is 90k a week, it's still looking at Chiesa on 150k a week. You're thinking, hang on a second. Al Hilal or Saudi will come in for Diaz. So yeah, Al Hilal from Saudi will come in for Diaz. I mean, yeah, it's Barcelona ain't going to go for him now, are they? Barcelona ain't going to go for him. They're still concentrating on getting Nico Williams over the line. I think Diaz was probably an option. He probably is an option for many teams, but not the main option because of his age. Probably because of his age. Tony said I saw a part about saying 95k. It might be 95k. It might be 95k, but I still don't think if you're looking at like a Chiesa, for example, if it is that, then he's looking at Chiesa on 150k. He's thinking still he's out of the played, and I've played my part. So his camp are going to look at that, and his camp are going to look at other things. I think you do as in a competitive salary business, you do look at your colleagues, you do look at them and think, how come they're on that much when they're doing, way less work than I'm doing, and why I'm on this. That's is going to be asked from Luis Diaz and his camp. But yeah, it is two situations. It's two situations we don't really need right now. How do we address these situations is probably get the sales done, and then maybe if we can get them tied down to new contracts, we've got to tie them down to new contracts. And if we don't, then for me, my personal opinion, I think Konate needs to be sold this summer, because we can't let him go for free again. We can't let another player go for free again. And it's not even just. I said it last night. Look, it's not even just about the money. Also, we recoup a bit of money for Konate if we can, and go get another defender that's good enough for that value. But it's more the principle. It's more the players going for free again. It's more the players, running contracts down and going for free. I don't think Konate has done it like Trent, where he's purposely run the contract down, which Trent, it seems like he has done. I think Konate is just in a situation where he's not being offered a contract that he feels right, and he feels that isn't, valuing what he should be for the team. We should be paying these players what they're valued for the team right now. And Konate, I would not pay him 200k because of his injuries. I would probably go 170, 160, 170k a week. I'd look at that. Obviously, he's not going to get 350. Virgil and Salah's had to work years and years for that sort of salary, but it certainly is worth as a centre back, as a main centre back, especially being the main centre back when Van Dijk does leave. He'll be number one with the experience as well. I think he's probably worth at least 160, 170k. We've got to pay him what he's worth. Again, the injuries don't help him in terms of if they're asking for 200k, which he did actually rubbish off. He did rubbish off those rumours about that. So, but if it is 200k they may want, then injuries do have an effect on that for me. It's either Sadik or Bayern goes. Who's that for? Is that for Diaz turn, I presume? Yeah, I mean Bayern want Gakpo, don't they? But Bayern are just using Gakpo's name, I think, just because they're annoyed at Flying Verts not choosing them. But it is what it is. I think with these situations, guys, it is something that we don't need to happen. But let's see what happens over the next few weeks. I certainly think we're going to look at sales now. I think Liverpool are going to be concentrating on sales. Nunes, Elliott, a left back, either Tsimikas or Robertson going to go. Martin's going to go. Case is going to go. They're the sales that's going to happen next. And then once the sales are done, I think we refocus again and hopefully bring at least, for me, I want 3 more players. I want a centre-back, I want a striker, and I want a CDM. I think it's going to be 2. I think it'd be a striker and a centre-back at best. I don't think we're even looking at CDM. I think we should. I don't want it to Gravenberch just be... Maybe, yeah, Butetić, I like Butetić, but again, he's had a big injury, so it's a lot to rely on that situation. But yeah, it's for me, I just think get Diaz and Konate signed. If they don't, then we've got to recoup some money from them. We do, for me. If they give Diaz more money and option to add another year extension next summer, that's a good idea. That I do think that's a good way of going about it. Maybe give him a little bit more money onto his wage and an extension potentially, or maybe like a clause for him that I can go to another club for a certain amount of price. But again, what club's going to come for Diaz? He's going into his prime now. And is he getting any better? They've probably got wingers that are better than that. PSG's got better wingers. Barcelona going to have better wingers. Bayern Munich, they could look at him potentially. But are they going to buy a 30-year-old winger? I don't know. Did they buy Kane, though, at a late age? But yeah, it's a situation that has come about because of probably the way the club was run in previous years, bringing Julian Ward in, bringing George Mactin. This is why we have the situation now we do with the contracts. It is what it is. Hopefully we do sort them out, and hopefully both do end up staying for at least 2 more years. I want Konate to stay for a good time, but if Diaz does run his contract down, it's not the worst thing as long as we do replace him with someone that's half decent, certainly for me. But yeah, thank you for watching this morning. Hope you have a great Friday. And again, watch us later on at 7 o'clock. Get involved later on tonight. It is Red Zone night. It is Friday night. It is Red Zone. the best day of the year, best stream of the best day of the year, the best day of the week, the best stream of the week. Is much more relaxed and chilled tonight on Red Zone, where we talk about everything Liverpool across the week. Thank you, everyone.